Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Ravenwolf. And Ravenwolf has an interesting and philosophical question for us today, and the question is, what is the difference between following your instincts versus wisdom? And the first thing that I would say about this is that when we are on a spiritual path, following one's instincts often is an aspect of wisdom, though it is certainly true that wisdom is more than this. If you ask the difference between following your instincts versus wisdom, I think that the most important difference is that when we follow our instincts, when we listen to that little voice inside, which is really the voice of our higher self, we're not using our thinking mind, but rather relating to our soul. When we talk about wisdom, we're talking very much about the thinking mind and things that we have learned and applying that learning to life. So that would be the difference. And in a spiritual path, generally listening to your instincts is a very important thing. Listening to your higher self, your soul, however you want to describe it, and learning how to do that and doing it are much to be desired and very much part of the path. Now, for some people this is very easy, for some it's very hard, and it depends on how blocked the person is. And we've talked about blockage before, the importance of unblocking oneself, the importance of shadow work, that is. And this is true in following your instincts as well, because if you're very blocked, it can be hard to tell what your instincts are. But as you develop your relationship with your higher self, it's much clearer. And for some people it's clear beginning because they've already done some of that work in an unconscious way or in previous lives. But following your instincts is a very good thing when you have that good relationship with your higher self and you're getting the messages clearly. Wisdom, again, is something that comes from your thinking mind, and it has to do with learning and understanding. So those would be the differences. Now, as to what wisdom is, I think that wisdom basically comes down to applying the lessons of your experience to make your life better. So if I were to try to define wisdom, I think that would be my definition. But in terms of the difference from instinct, it is the difference between listening to the higher self and consulting the thinking mind, both of which can be very important. And there's a reason that we have both. And using both, I think, is highly desirable. And I've known people in the spiritual path who want to rely only on instinct and not consult wisdom. And I don't think that is a desirable thing to do. I think it can lead you sometimes into very bad places if your connection to your higher self is not as clear as you might think. But I think that we need to use both of these skills in order to move forward in a good way. And I think that sometimes when instinct is not clear, wisdom becomes very, very important. And they're both important, really, to use together on a regular basis. So those would be my thoughts on the matter. I hope you find them helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you for Pagans Tonight Radio. Pagans Tonight Radio is an online radio network with different hosts and different shows 7 nights a week. There's something for every taste, including Spanish language programming on Saturday evening. Check out paganstonight.com today. Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for stability. Pray for the nation where you live. Pray for the world.